I've been watching the show. Have you been having fun? Yeah. Well, I have to tell you, I was kind of looking forward to see Troy Rourke juggle, especially with his low ceiling. But the mentalism was just so impressive. So I'd like to try a little mentalism myself. I'm going to take this blank pad. I'm going to ask a question or two and see if I can't divine what some people are thinking. Gentleman back here in the Hawaiian shirt, would you stand up for me, please? Most gentlemen carry some change in their pocket. Now, if you have any or not, really not an issue at this point. But what I'd like you to do is think about a pocket full of change. And if you have it and you'd like to count it, that's fine with me. And if you don't, that's okay too. What I'm looking for is an amount of money that might be pocket change. Okay? You can count or you can just think of that amount. Please don't say it out loud, because that, if you tell me what it is before I write it down, that ruins the trick. Okay? Have you got an amount of money in mind? Concentrate on that amount of money. All right, I've made my prediction. In a loud voice, would you please announce the amount of money that you were thinking of?
65 cents.
65 cents. 65 cents. Well, most magicians do card tricks. I'm no exception. And if you play cards, you may have heard some card terminology. You may have heard about a hole card or an ace in the hole. I brought with me some hole cards of a completely different type. The first one is a hole card because it has a hole. The second one, of course, is a hole card because it doesn't have a hole. It's a hole card. Third card is like the second. It's a hole card. Fourth card is like the first. It's a hole card. So this is a mystery with two hole cards and two hole cards. Now the hole cards are colored on the back. So if I take a hole card and put it behind a hole card, it creates the illusion of a spot card. Same thing with the other pair. The illusion of a spot card, when what I really have is two hole cards and two hole cards. Now the magic begins when I take the hole card and put it in front of the hole card to create the illusion of a spot card, blow on them, snap my fingers, and one of those hole cards becomes a real spot card, and the spot does not rub off. That, of course, leaves me with two hole cards and one hole card. The other hole card, as you'll remember, is now a spot card. I'll get back to that one later. If I take the hole card and put it in front of the hole card again to make the illusion of a spot card, then we'll take one of the hole cards and tap it a bunch of times like that. That, of course, gives us a whole bunch of spots. That's two down, leaving us with a hole card and a hole card. This time I won't even use the whole hole card. I'll just use the corner of the hole card to create the illusion of a spot card. I'll then take the hole card and wave it over the front of what used to be the spot card but is now a hole card because the whole card was taken away. You'll notice now that this card has also become a spot card, but in this case the spot is so big that it covers the whole card. That's three down, leaving me just with this one. This one's the most confusing of all. Hard to tell if this is a hole card, a card with a hole, a spot card, or if I give it a tap like that, it becomes a hole card with a spot. That gives us a hole card with a spot that covers the whole card, a whole bunch of spots, and the reason that this whole thing is so confusing, is that everyone was watching the spots and no one was watching the hole. A little mentalism. A little mentalism. It's okay. Yeah. See, someone from the middle this time. Back in the back, in the plaid shirt, would you stand up for me, please? Right in the middle there. That's perfect. Yes, thank you. Would you think, please, of the name of any city in the United States? The name of any city in the United States? Have you got it? Concentrate now. Not like Mr. 65 cents. Concentrate. Concentrate. Have you got it? All right. I've got it. Now, in a loud voice, would you please announce the name of the city you were thinking of?
Bend.
I'm sorry?
Bend, as in Oregon.
Bend? Bend? That's a city? Bend is a city? You know, I'm not just a magician. I'm also an inventor. I'm working on a new invention. I'm hoping it's going to sweep the nation. I brought it with me tonight. I'd like to share it with you. Is that all right? Now, those of you who are older will remember this. Those of you who are younger are going to look at me like I'm nuts. That's okay. Back in the 1970s, almost everybody in the country had a pet rock. Yeah. Yeah, young people, it's true. You're looking at your parents going, really? Yeah, it's true. I think I've improved on that idea with my latest invention. I have invented the pet rope. This is my pet rope. His name is Fred. Now I know what you're thinking. Why is a pet rope better than a pet rock? Simple. Fred can do tricks. Fred, shake. Sit. Play dead. Fred, they're not impressed. All right, tough audience. Okay, well, there's another trick we've been working on. This one's a little tougher. In this trick, I take Fred and I make a loop in one end of Fred like that. I reach through the loop, I grab the end of the rope, I pull it through. Is that a good trick? No, it's not. Harry, don't steal that joke. We've made something here more special, though, than just a bad joke. I'll admit that part. We've made a magical jumping knot. Notice, please, the knot is on the bottom half of Fred. All I have to do is pass the pet rope behind my back. The knot magically jumps to the top of the rope. Yeah, pity applause, I can tell. All right, Fred, we're going to have to work harder than that. Well, you know, there is one more thing that you can do with a pet rope that is a little bit more impressive, but in order to do that, you must have a second pet rope. You know why that is? It's just good marketing. I brought a second pet rope with me. His name is Red. There they are. Red and Fred. Fred and Red. Now to do this, we need to make another magical jumping knot. We'll make a loop in Fred, pull the end through the loop. There's our magical jumping knot. Twist the ends of the ropes together. Now if you don't mind, Fred and I are just working on this trick, so before we go any further, I'd like to whisper a couple of short words of encouragement. Get it? Right. when we drop the ends of the ropes, the knot has jumped off the thread on the red. The knot, of course, is still magical. I can still take it, give it a squeeze, and I can move it to there, or to there. Or if I'm very careful, I can take it all the way off the end of the rope. Now you may think that taking a magical jumping knot off of a rope is a pretty good trick. It's actually pretty easy. A much more difficult trick is to take that same knot and to toss it back onto the rope. The knot, of course, is still magical. I can still move it from there to there. Matter of fact, it likes to move around. Matter of fact, the hardest trick to teach a magical jumping knot is to stay. In order to teach it to stay, you have to feed it a pet rope treat. Pet rope treats are invisible. I brought one with me. They look like this. And in case anyone's interested, they're available for $9.95 at a retailer near you. Now, when I take the pet rope treat and I feed it to that magical jumping knot, not only will the knot stay, it will actually relax so much that it will melt in and become a part of the rope on which it was tied. Little mentalism. Yeah, little mentalism. Yeah, give it to me. See somebody from over here this time. In the beard and the loud shirt. Would you stand up, please? I'd like you to think of a color. Any color at all. Any color. Any color that comes to mind. Think of a color. Have you got a color? Okay. Concentrate on that color. I know I've got it this time. I know it. In a loud voice, what color were you concentrating on?
Blue.
So,